This past week, we in Canada concluded a deeply contested federal election. As ballots were tallied and leaders offered victory and concession speeches, many editorials echoed that of the Globe and Mail. Reflecting on the state of the country, they wrote, "Canada's future must be built on unity, not division." It's a noble call and a hard one. Elections, by design, emphasize difference. They force contrasts. They expose grievances, sharpen ideologies, and sometimes leave us with more questions about who we are than answers about where we're going. But what would it take to respond to this national moment, not with anxiety or cynicism, but with spiritual clarity? Surprisingly, the Torah this week offers us just such clarity. It comes from one of the most obscure and uncomfortable corners of the Parsha, the laws of tzara'at, often mistranslated as leprosy. This is an affliction which can appear on a person's skin, their clothing, even the walls of their home. It's not purely medical. It is, as the rabbis teach, a spiritual malady, an outward sign of inner disconnection. And it is dealt with by not a physician, but a kohen, a priest. We read in Vayikra 13:3, "V'ra'ah ha-kohen et hanega ba'or habasar." The priest, the kohen, shall examine the affection of the skin of his body. V'ra'ahu ha-kohen v'tameoto, and the priest shall look at him and pronounce him impure. At first glance, it seems like this is a technical verse. The kohen looks, and if the signs are present, he declares impurity. But the commentaries teach us that this verse has a profound ethical instruction. The kohen could have said, the priest shall look at the affliction, and that would suffice. But it doesn't just say that. It goes on, "V'ra'ahu ha-kohen," and the priest shall see him. Not just the affliction, not just the wound. The kohen must see the person, all of him. Rashi, quoting the Midrash, explains that the kohen must not render a decision until he himself sees the person, not through hearsay, not via a messenger, not based on rumor. Ein ro'eh et haniga'im b'layla, he may not inspect the affliction at night, ela bayom, rather during the day, v'lo al yedei suma, nor if he, the kohen, is blind. The kohen must be fully present, must be fully attentive. Seeing must be clear, direct, and careful. Sforno goes even further. He says that the kohen is not just looking for symptoms. He is assessing the person's overall physical and spiritual state. Judgment cannot be made solely on the mark of tzara'at. It must emerge from a full understanding of the person standing before him. This is the Torah's way of saying what modern medicine and healthy democracy already know. Healing must be holistic. A physician who only sees the symptom and not the story will misdiagnose. A judge who sees only the crime and not the context may miscarry justice. A leader who sees only votes and not lives will never inspire loyalty. A citizen who sees only their neighbor's politics and not their humanity will never build a community. In our generation, one of the most powerful voices urging us to recover the sacred act of seeing is my colleague and friend and Rabbinic Leadership Initiative cohort member, Rabbi Sharon Brous in Los Angeles. She is the founder of IKAR, And reflecting on the spiritual and social brokenness of our time, she writes, real empathy is not feeling for someone from a distance. It is choosing to come close enough to see the pain in their eyes, to hear the trembling in their voice, to sit in the ache of their hearts. For Brous, empathy is not passive, it is active. It is a choice to draw near, to see fully, even, perhaps especially, when it's uncomfortable. This, too, is what the kohen models in our parsha. He does not merely diagnose, he draws close. He does not see only the blemish, he sees the soul. And perhaps most importantly, he does not render a judgment until he has fully seen. This week, our country needs such kohanim. It needs leaders and citizens who will see beyond slogans, beyond divisions, beyond social media hot takes. It needs people who will take the time to listen, to understand, to ask. What pain lies beneath the anger? What hope lies behind this demand? What dignity lies within this neighbor? The Globe and Mail and others called for unity. The Torah teaches us where unity begins, with vision, with closeness, with the courage to see the wholeness of other people. It is not easy, but this work is sacred, and it is the only path forward for healing, for reconciliation, for shleimut, for wholeness. So let us ask ourselves in our homes and in our workplace and in our civic life, do we see each other as the kohen is called to see? Do we withhold judgment until we have drawn close? Do we dare to believe that seeing with empathy, with care, with dignity and clarity is the beginning of healing? Because whether we are treating a disease or repairing and building a society, we cannot heal what we refuse to see. Shabbat Shalom.